right. And on that note, we are gonna go ahead and get started.
Oh yeah, that's on recording. Do not.
It's not gonna go. It's not gonna go live. It's okay. It's okay. It will not go live. We will start with on that note. So, welcome everybody to another episode of the Lost Holocron podcast. I am your host, Didge. With me, as always, my panels of esteemed guests. Starting with you, Jamie. Jamie, how are you today?
I'm doing well. It's been like a crazy week and it's raining right now in New York, so it's quite disgusting.
So that's not
But
sunlight off to the side of you.
no, that's just
No,
my
lie.
IKEA light,
I
my
thought
IKEA lamp.
I was like, man, it is still bright out there. Like,
No.
No, yeah.
okay.
It's really dark.
It's been 2 days since it's been that bright.
Okay.
It's dark out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great lighting then.
It is.
Make it
It's I
dark
mean,
this
in
summer.
person, it's like it doesn't light the whole room, but it's good enough. It's good enough.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because like I said, I thought it was just that bright out. I was like, man, it must be a
Deceptive.
sunny
You
day.
guys still got light. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's still it's going down. It's probably gonna be dark during the course of this.
No, it's a little dark here, pretty much.
It's dark. It's dark enough.
That's fair. Keeping on that note, we're gonna go to you, Joel, next. How are you today? How was your weekend?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I mean, the rain sucked. It's kind of ruined my weekend, but
Oh yeah, fair.
But aside from the rain, it's been pretty quiet. I did catch up on some things. Like I told you, I finished Demon Slayer, and
Right.
I watched Blood Prison. So
Okay. How'd you like
wow.
it? I know that's a
It
whole.
wasn't
I know
as
that's
bad
another
as y'all made it
podcast.
seem,
But how'd you
I
like
need to
it?
do that actually.
I
Okay.
was expecting it to be worse, so I'm like, oh, this wasn't that bad.
That's fair. I guess we might have killed any expectations, but that's
Yeah.
another podcast.
That's probably a good thing, you know. With these movies,
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing.
Right. You'll have to wait to see when that episode comes out to see what we're talking about there. But last but not least, to round us out, Trevon, how are you today, and how was your weekend?
My weekend was a weekend.
Jesus.
Work comes tomorrow, so that's always great too. I can't wait till next weekend. How about that?
I'm right along with you.
That's facts. That's facts.
I'm right along with you. This week is going to be a busy week.
Oh,
Next
Same.
weekend is going to be busy. Next weekend is no sleep till film fest. So
oh.
I got all weekend, so that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I think my group totally fell through. So if you need help, let me know.
You could definitely, I could let you know, yeah, because I don't know exactly what all the process is going to have to be. I have to reach out to Mike too. I know he said he would be down to help, but that should be a busy one. But today we are here to talk Ahsoka. Episode 6. Unfortunately, we only have 2 more episodes left after this one.
Oh damn!
So I am really sad about that.
Mm.
Didn't
But
think about that.
in the meantime, we had another great episode. I enjoyed it. Before anything, we'll start off with another quick recap like we did the last few episodes. I think that helps out a lot. Just to keep
It
our
does.
memories going.
Yes, it does.
Oh, for sure.
It does help, yeah.
So I'll dive right into that. Essentially, the start of this episode, while they were traveling with the Purgles, Ahsoka and Huyang were discussing Sabine's choice. That's when that's when Ahsoka let Huyang know that Sabine kind of traded on us. And obviously discussing the implications of that. At the same time, the Eye of Sion, that's when they landed on. I can't remember the world's name. I'm gonna be honest, and this doesn't have it on here, so. They landed. It was essentially the home world of all of the Dathomirians, I guess is the best way to put it. That's when they met the Great Mothers of the Night Sisters, who were allied with Thrawn, and that's when we first get the Thrawn's ship comes out. We get the emergence of him and his army that are just chanting Thrawn the entire time. They kind of looked a little menacing. One had the gold face and everything. That was crazy. But at the same time, Thrawn, even though you can tell he's very arrogant, he knows that he feels like this is my chance for I won. He did honor Balin Skull's promise and let Sabine go try to find Ezra. But then right afterwards, sort of, I knocked my mic. But right afterwards was like, yo, go after them. And the promise was you can find him. Afterwards, kill him.
That's right. That's right.
So Shin was very excited about that. Balin seemed kind of hesitant about that. And I do want to get into that later. I really love his characterization, and I think there's a lot that you can unpack there. But so during Sabine's chase, she gets ambushed. I forgot what the name of the little dog thing was, but that didn't really
Mm-hmm.
help during the ambush. After the
Nope, sure
ambush,
didn't.
it did nothing to help. But after the ambush, they came across that, like, I don't know, it's like a shell creature. It was called a noti.
Mm-hmm.
The
Um,
turtles.
yeah, it was like a little shell turtle. I don't, because it also looked almost like a lobster too. So I don't know what you want to
Yeah,
call it.
they were weird looking, but
Yeah.
And they wore
yeah,
clothes.
Yeah, they
yeah,
wore clothes. The rest of the squad was about to let the one get attacked. Did not come out to try to help until everything was good. But they led her to their village, and at their village, Ezra was there. They had their great reconnection. He was
Mm-hmm.
sort of trying to, like, understand how she got there, why it took so long. Sort of her journey. She didn't really want to tell much about it. I get it. I wouldn't want to tell, like, hey, I kind of traded on some people to help you out, but it is what it is. And then while that's all happening, Balin, he senses that there's a greater power on the planet, and tells Shin that he's gonna find it and use it, and that's sort of where we end. Like, Thrawn, he's preparing for his plans, and everybody's sort of planning for those last two episodes and probably whatever comes after that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an episode that, in terms of the last three or four, mainly the last two, it's setting up for the end. So it almost felt like another setup episode. But in my opinion, a lot happened, action wise and just development wise, that it kept me entertained throughout. But we'll go to you first, Trayvon. Let me hear your thoughts on the episode.
So Sabine's in her little cage with her cuffs on. I don't know why she's part of y'all now. Stay over there. But she's there. It's like, this isn't comfortable. I was like, I thought you were a prisoner. Oh, you're not, huh? Yeah, I thought so. But anyway, so she's there, and Ahsoka finally tells us that she's a traitor, and I hope she smacks her when she sees her. And then she tells, um, I mean, Thrawn, they're shouting his name and everything. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, he has a big following here. I see. I don't know how Ezra's like chilling on wherever he's at. Like, I'm like, huh? So you just chilling over here? Thrawn will just let you rock? like what's going on? Like, but I can't wait to definitely explain. Or are you already working with Thrawn? You're already on the bad side, and you just chilling because that's why. Because you're on his side. That's why nothing's happening to you. Um, you know, um, I'm just curious on how it goes. It did feel like a setup episode. I do feel like that Balin is very much, like I said, he has honor or whatever. It just seems like he
Mm-hmm.
has some kind of honor code, and what Thrawn is doing and what everybody around him is doing, he doesn't like. So he need to figure it out what he gonna do about it, because obviously they're not doing stuff the right way, and he wants to. Well, at least for the most part, anyway. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This episode was cool to finally see Thrawn and finally see Ezra. They've been milking it this whole season for me. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean that's it. I mean that's really all I got. Really, just happy we got to see him finally.
That's
Yeah,
fair. I think, like you said, Balin seems to be one of those people who wants to do everything the right way, whether or not it's good or evil. You can tell that he feels that, like, there's a method to it.
yeah,
And I don't know if that's still the teachings of the Jedi Order or not. But it's interesting to see someone who is a complete mystery. I was telling my brother that, like, he's a character that I haven't seen in a long time because I still don't understand his motives. Like, I don't. He's not necessarily good, obviously,
hmm,
because he's doing all of this for power. But why does he want that power so much? And I think that's something that hopefully we'll get the chance to see. Like, I don't know if his character is supposed to die at the end of the series. It's really unfortunate that Ray Stevenson isn't still alive, so we could see more of it, because I don't know
yeah,
if they do end up having to recast it. Will they get the sort of the same, I guess, gravitas to the character? Like, I don't know if somebody can play this as well as he's been playing it. He's for sure been one of my favorite characters throughout this series.
yeah.
So along that line, Jamie, what are some of your thoughts on the episode, and just especially on your thoughts on Balin too? Like I said, I did want to talk about his characterization because I do think he's one of the more interesting ones.
Yeah, I've really come to enjoy Balin. He's like one of the more complicated characters for sure, with his like disconnection from the Jedi, but not necessarily wanting to associate himself with the Sith.
Hmm.
And like even just looking back to his fight with Ahsoka, and kind of like I guess her waking up, like kind of starting to realize like she can be more than what Anakin's legacy has been so far, and him kind of I don't know if he necessarily guided her towards like trying to think really hard about those things, but he definitely was a contributing factor to that. And also just like opening her eyes to the fact that like, hey, the Jedi Order wasn't perfect, and that's why I'm not a part of it anymore. Like there's a lot of things that the Jedi Order did wrong that I don't agree with, so I just kind of have to do my own thing. And Ahsoka, similarly, like, she's no longer a part of the Jedi Order for her own personal reasons, but she sees Balin as someone who's like looking like facing more of a darker side of the Force, I guess. When really, I feel like they're in some ways like very similar in their like the ways that they're looking at the Force and how they like try to lead. They just have different goals, which have led them to lead different lives. But as far as what I thought about the episode in general, I was really happy to finally get to see some freaking Night Sisters, and now I'm confused as to why. It's Hati, right?
Yes.
Hati is another one of the Night Sisters who is not like pale.
Oh
We
no,
see
no.
the
So that
No, no,
character
no, no.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Yes.
That's
Morgan Elsbeth.
yeah. That's the one that
Yeah.
you're talking
They're
about. I'm
not
sorry. I
these
thought you were.
Oh, got it, got it.
That's my
fallen.
Yeah,
fault.
I'm bad with names. My
No,
bad,
it's
my bad.
fair. It's fair. That was my fault. I thought you were talking about Balin's apprentice.
No, not her. Morgan Elsbeth. I don't. It's not like it's that big of a deal, but now that I've seen other Night Sisters, I don't know if it's like a rank thing, like the higher you are, the paler you get, or something like that. Which would that would be a
That'd
problem
be
in
very
itself,
problematic.
and its own thing.
I hope it's not
But
that.
Could
yeah,
be.
I don't know why she's not more pale. Not that it really matters, I guess, but just from the way that they've been
She's like
like
half blood.
visualized in the Clone Wars, like all of them were pale. So I don't know. I'm just curious about that little detail. And it feels like purposeful. I'm just curious as will we ever learn that?
No shit, half
Um
blood. Half blood.
Well,
Yeah.
so
Half blood.
I
Yeah.
wonder.
Maybe.
So
I don't know if that's a thing.
that's fair. But I wonder in this
Possible.
case, and I just found the name. The name of the planet is Peridia, and I might be mispronouncing it, but that was sort of
Hmm.
what they were saying in the episode. That was the original homeworld of the Night Sisters. Then they were able to. They were able, I guess, to resettle on Dathomir, and then essentially all of like the surviving ones after everything, they're sort of outcasted back to this home world.
Mm.
So I wonder if it's a case of just the planet, the atmosphere of the planet, sort of messing with your skin and anything.
Oh.
Dathomir was definitely a place that was very desolate and very. I mean,
Yeah.
if you've played any of the Jedi games, you remember just the how it was there, just going through the stages. So I can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine that actually living on that. So I wonder
Mhm.
if that's an effect. Obviously, I don't know if Morgan Elsbeth sort of lived her life there. I mean, think about where we found her at. So I wonder if that's the case. Not necessarily to put anything against yours. We're all just theorizing at this point. But sorry, I
Yeah.
cut you off.
No, you're good. So yeah, I was happy we got to see the Night Sisters. Thrawn, I don't really have a connection to, because like we've been saying, I haven't seen Rebels. So to finally see him, um, I guess was like a little bit underwhelming. Like I don't know, they make him out to be like this like big bad guy that will like destroy the galaxy or whatever, and then like you see him, he's just like this kind of slender blue man. He definitely does look evil, but I'm like I don't know.
He's very
I
smart because they're
yeah,
outsmarting everybody else.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
So
very on par
that's
for
his
him.
thing.
I feel like visually I was just expecting more, but as far as personality wise, no, he definitely fits quite well. And the actor did a great job performing as him as well. So I'm curious to see how he's going to fit into this story now that he has like a more active role and is able to like directly affect Sabine and Ezra. Also don't have a connection to Ezra, but I immediately was like, you know what, this guy looks kind of like Jesus. And then lo and behold, some people on Twitter were saying, I'm like, yes, other people see the vision. I'm like, I don't know, he's giving off
It's a
Messiah vibes, I guess. So I wonder, I wonder, I don't know. I wonder how different he's going to be once Sabine finally like opens up to him a little bit more and explains like, you know, what all has happened since the last time that they were together.
Right.
Um and hopefully we'll get to see more Ahsoka next episode because she was kind of didn't have as big a part,
I
which is
think,
fine.
yeah, I think she only showed
But
up in the first few scenes. I don't remember.
yeah, it was like
So
at the beginning and then I think like a little at the end.
okay,
Um, but yeah, it's fine. But I also like, you know, it is her show, so I would like to see as much of her as possible. But yeah, overall, really interesting episode. Definitely gave me a lot to think about now that we're seeing a lot more of these Rebels characters come into play. And yeah, it's kind of sad to think we only have a couple episodes left.
Yeah.
it is. It. I think that's one of the things that I dislike the most is that all of these Star Wars shows, hell, all of these Disney Plus shows in general, all seem to be beholden to that 6 to 8 episode range. And I mean, obviously, you can get a lot done. We've seen some great shows out of it, but it does almost kind of leave you wanting a little bit more. And that's something that I guess maybe we just all miss the days of 20 to 26 episode seasons from just, TV's heyday back in the 90s and early 2000s. Um, Joel, while I go to you, I want to touch on something that Jamie was talking about in specifics to Thrawn. I know when you and I were talking about it before, we were talking about how great it was that Lars Mikkelsen voiced it and did live action, and how all of the mannerisms that we saw from just the voice, they were just extended seeing it in live action. Because now you see sort of the body language with it. Like you could hear it obviously before, but now you're physically seeing it.
Mm.
So yeah, I wanted to hear some of your thoughts on how you felt Thrawn was characterized, as well obviously just your general thoughts on the episode, and just some of the how you think Lars brought it to live action.
Well, speaking of Thrawn, it was nice to see him in live action
Mm-hmm.
because that was a character. I know he goes back to Legends,
Right.
so very far back, but they brought him into canon with Rebels, and he has his own books, I think, that are canon too, right?
Yeah, I think
Um,
they
or at least a
redid
book.
some of, yeah.
Because he had a whole series, like a trilogy or some shit of
Yeah.
books, in Legends. Anyway, yeah, his characterization, his mannerisms, is obviously the voice. I thought that was my the guy I wanted to be Thrawn because that just made sense if they were
Mm-hmm.
going to do that with some certain other actors got that chance to voice and be themselves as well, and it was really cool to see them pull this off. Um, and I think he nailed it. Like that felt like Thrawn. Like if like the Thrawn from Rebels, that's the same character. He might look a little different because obviously they're not the same necessarily the same build.
Right.
But time for him. It's been a couple years. You never know. It's not that serious.
He's been
Yeah,
exiled for a while, you know.
That's
yeah,
true.
you gotta do what you gotta do. But I do love his interpretation of the character. I think that we're just beginning to touch on what that character will be, because for some people, it's their first time. Because some
Mhm.
people haven't watched Rebels. I'm not gonna name names, but but there are people that haven't watched Rebels that don't know Thrawn at all. So this is fun for us to see him. Overall, I think it was a really good episode, and I was just looking up. It's funny because you guys are talking about it, and I'm like, I am curious why she's not as pale as her
Yeah.
Knight's brethren, and apparently she's human. She's not from Dathomir. That's why
So
Mm.
so she's
she's,
I
she's
didn't know
not.
Night Sisters could not be
Is
Dathomir.
she an honorary
Apparently they
night
can
sister?
be. Yeah, I don't know how that works, but
That's
she's a human
interesting.
Night Sister.
She is half. I'm telling you.
She's
Yeah.
apparently human, according to I forgot whatever I was looking at. So she's a human Night Sister. So
The
that's why she's
Wikipedia.
She
maybe
didn't. Her blood was infused.
yeah, it is
I don't know.
Wikipedia.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, she's human. That's why she's not like the others
Hmm.
who are from Dathomir.
Mhm.
And that would explain that. I thought the night seeing the creepy Night Sister witches were pretty cool. Seeing Thrawn's army with what was the name of that dude with the cool helmet? Damn.
So they were all just night troopers. I don't know if they gave the goat
They
faced
were
one a
called
name.
Night Troopers, and they looked like they were wearing makeshift armor because
Yeah.
they've been
Yeah.
through it and they couldn't replace them. That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
But the main one, the captain of that group
Yeah, the
with the
goat
gold
faced one.
mask, yes, him. He was cool looking. I thought that was interesting little twist. It was awesome seeing Ezra again.
Hmm.
And I had a feeling he would have a beard, so it works out.
I feel
Maybe
like that's what
thicker
you
than I
do
was
when you show
expecting.
like, oh, time has
Yeah,
passed and
it's
someone's
old. He's
lost.
older now. Yeah, yeah. Because the last time we saw him, he had a shaved head basically and no facial hair. Now he's hairy.
Right.
I can't wait to see what he's been up to and period because I really don't know anything about what he's been up to. I'm curious how that whole thing has went for him. It's nice to see him again, especially because the last time we saw him was at the end of Rebels, and we were all wondering what happened to them both. Because now we've got to see Thrawn and Ezra in the same episode, and I thought that was for a Rebels fan, it was really cool. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been cool. And now they're older, and obviously Ezra remains more because he was younger, like what, young, like a teenager-ish
Hmm.
Yeah.
time. So now he's in 20s. So it's cool. It's cool, like full circle there, and um, Sabine was doing her thing. She had some cool scenes in there, little action scenes. That little weird dog, her little relationship with that thing.
Tota. That's
Yeah, that thing. That was pretty cool. The Turtle Village. I know they're not called turtles, but they look like. So there was a lot of things I liked. It was another good episode. They've been on a nice little run. I mean, to me, they've all been good episodes. Just some of
yeah,
them
I'd
are more
agree.
interesting than others. So the last couple episodes have been really intriguing. So this just continues that. So I'm very curious, and I'm very sad to see it end, but curious where the next two episodes go.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I wanted to ask about for any of you guys. So we know that when Thrawn and Ezra sort of got lost, there was a ship full of his troopers, which is theoretically we just assume those are who all the night troopers were. I want to present a question. We know that the Night Sisters can reanimate corpses. How do we know that these aren't all reanimated corpses?
It
I
could
mean,
be.
that's
I mean,
interesting.
maybe that's why they all look dirty and stuff.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
matter. They don't shower, so they don't matter. They're just dirty
I
You're
mean,
zombies.
like, bro, I'm dead. Why do I need to clean myself?
Maybe
af-
that's why they're called night troopers.
that's
after we saw that one, was it Merrick? What is it?
yeah.
After we saw that, and we know that he was nothing technically, I was like, well,
Mhm.
anything is possible. They could,
Yeah,
they could do it.
he was
Some of them might not even be real. Maybe they're just a suit.
cannon fodder.
Yeah, and that's honestly that was what got me thinking about it because I was trying to like obviously the
Oh,
easy answer is Thrawn had a obviously look how big his ship is. You can have a lot of people on there.
Mhm.
Um but at the same time, what's a way to make it different than just okay, you had more people. Well, I'm reanimating an entire legion of troops
Mhm.
using these Night Sisters. Obviously, he kept talking about how he had more he wanted to ask of them and everything. Like they seem to work pretty close with him in whatever his plans are moving forward.
Right.
So that was one thing I wanted to
Good
ask
theory.
about.
So you think it might be possible that like if he pisses them off, they're like, all right, they're mine now. Like you don't
That
have any
would be
troopers anymore.
That
that'd
would be
be
interesting.
crazy. I don't know that he seems to defer to them pretty well. Like they seem to have that respect for each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the short time that we've seen them each other, they didn't seem to
Yeah.
have like a contentious relationship.
I think it'll tell us when they actually fight them. We'll see how they fight, or
Mhm.
can they be hurt, or can they be
Right.
stabbed.
Right.
We'll see.
It does make sense now. They like thinking about them being called night troopers. I'm like, I never asked why. I just that's what they were
Yeah.
calling them, and I'm like, that's a good point. Why are they called
That's
night
where they
troopers?
came from.
And then, like you said, all of their armor and stuff was cracked and whatever. I will say it was really cool that they were fixed with. I don't know if you guys noticed that it was like golden, the stuff that was
Yeah.
fixed in it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's something I think goes back to sort of the samurai Japanese vibes that Dave Filoni was definitely wanting with the series. don't ask me the name of it, but I know there's a Japanese art form that literally takes broken stuff and uses molten gold to refix it. So that way it's new art in terms of the old broken thing. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of it, but again, it falls in line with the whole samurai influence and Japanese influence for the series as a whole. So I thought that was just a neat little touch to add into it. One other question I had: Hu Yang said the line a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and it got me thinking. We know every Star Wars movie and all of that starts with that, as if someone's narrating it. What if Hu
Yeah.
Yang's narrating the entire Star Wars saga?
Hu Yang's the narrator
He's
of
the
all of
narrator
it.
of everything.
Oh man.
Wow.
That was just something fun I wanted to throw out there.
That's an
Wow.
interesting thought. I mean, I never.
Ooh, Jamie,
I
if you
don't
can
know.
pronounce that, I'm gonna let you say that because Jamie found
It's
what it's called.
yeah,
What's it called?
kintsugi.
Kintsugi.
That's what I would say. Yeah, Kintsugi.
God bless you.
Right, I didn't want to cut you off. Yeah, so apparently, like I said, it literally means join with gold, and you repair broken objects with like pottery or glass with molten gold.
Gold welding.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Interesting.
that was something. Like I said, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's really cool. It's a neat influence."
I didn't know that was a thing. So, good shit.
It was some anime. I'm gonna be honest. I saw it in an anime. I think it was crap. What is it?
An anime is in Japan.
Right. What is it? Revengers? The one where the with the
Tokyo
samurai?
Revenger?
No, the,
No.
the one with
Tokyo
the
Revenger?
samurai. I think it's just called just Revengers.
I
There's
don't
a
know if I've
lot with
seen that.
samurai. You gotta be very, very more specific.
He was let me Google it while we're doing this. I'm almost positive it's
I
just
want to
called,
guess it, but I'm like
it's literally called Revenger. It's the
Revengers,
yes,
not Tokyo Revengers.
no, not Tokyo Revengers. That's I do remember they came
Oh,
out around
I
the
haven't
same
seen
time.
this.
It's a decent anime, but we're getting off the point here.
Just Revengers,
Yeah,
not Thor's team in the play.
Yeah, that's what I thought of at first. I'm not gonna lie. When you
that's
first said it.
fair. But
Oh, I
no,
see it.
yeah,
Oh, it's new.
it came out January,
Fucking
but
so
one of the
soon.
guys in there, he was an artist, and that was his technique. So that I learned about it then,
Mm.
Oh,
literally.
There you
Revenge.
go.
Is it good?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's only been one season so far.
Uh, gotcha.
I'll put it on my anime list.
You guys definitely should look at that.
I
You
have
get
so
not
much
only
to catch
Star
up on.
Wars, but you get anime recommendations here too. That is
There
what the
you
Lost
go.
Holocron brings you every
And you're learning.
and you're
Yeah,
learning.
you learned about what Kitsugi or Kintsugi.
Yeah, kintsugi.
Kintsugi.
The last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, like I said, these recaps only need to be like 30 or 40 minutes.
Or
Balin talked about there being more power on Peridia, however you pronounce it, as well as he went into the cycle of dark and light, sort of in the Force.
Right.
And a lot of his stuff was very reminiscent of how Palpatine would talk about power and the Force in general. I'm not saying obviously Balin's not going to become Palpatine, but do you think that was brought there for a reason, knowing that where these are all going to lead? That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out how do we get from here to eventually we have to get to that sequel trilogy.
I mean, we
Do
got
you think
30
this is the
years to
start of it?
fill, so like
Do we still got 30 years? We do got 30 years.
25 probably now.
Yeah,
Uh,
but this has to be the start of it, right? Whatever this power is.
maybe. I don't know. I felt like that we
Hmm.
were getting something in the Mandalorian, and that didn't turn out to be
That's
what I
that's
thought.
true.
You know, I was like, "Oh, okay, that was not what I expected." Even though
I,
there are dabblings of things like they
Mhm.
could use for the future.
I wonder how far we are from that team up movie that Filoni is going to be doing.
That's a good question.
Like,
Yeah, so
is there
this is
another season of this or
Because I'm
what?
expecting Thrawn to be the big bad in that, right?
I think Thrawn is the big
All
bad in
right.
that. Like I think that was a given. So that's why I sort of just jumped beyond that because I figure whatever his plot is,
But he's gonna
that's
need
that's leading to that.
pieces to fight for, like not because expect him to be the main villain in terms of like okay, everyone's got to team up to fight this. It's not Thanos. Like, this guy's
Right.
not gonna fight everybody in a field.
He's
It's
going to
all
use other
strategy.
people. Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. Who are gonna be those people?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I am too. And I'm
Like an
curious to
anime
how
involved.
this all ends. I don't know if there's a second series of Ahsoka coming. I thought it was Ahsoka leading directly into the movie, because I think the movie's supposed to
Mhm.
be in 2 years or something like that. Now, granted, things could have changed with the strikes and everything, but
Mm.
I think their initial plan was one more season of Mandalorian, and then
Oh,
it leads into the movie, if I remember
Mm.
correctly.
okay. Wow.
Was there anything else? So was that it? It was just Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and
But there, so was
Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Ahsoka.
yeah. Oh well. Do you mean like for things coming up, or just like Star Wars shows in general?
things coming up
That
leading to that
connect
movie.
that lead up
Because
Oh,
like
they are
I feel
doing
like
another season of Boba Fett then.
the Mandoverse.
no, he was just asking like, were those the three things that lead into the
I was
movie?
wondering if there's anything else in
Oh,
between
I
this
don't
and the
think
movie.
I don't think
That's what I'm saying.
other than the
I'm
new season of Mando, I think that's it.
Has that
okay.
yeah.
been confirmed?
A new
I
season of
Um,
think
Mando.
Are they
they
doing
I'll
another
take a
season of
guess.
did.
Mando?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if I've seen that.
I hope so because I
Honestly,
love Mando. At least one or two more seasons. Damn it.
what season? What season we on? 3, right?
Yeah, so next season
Three.
will come up would be
Yeah,
4.
yeah. I think.
What else can you
Uh,
do? I mean,
I
they
don't
got
know why I'm
Skeleton
thinking the
Crew
next
coming.
season's gonna be the last one.
I don't know if Skeleton Crew connects, does it? No. What year? I don't even know when that takes place.
Yeah, so they said that the Dave Filoni's movie is supposed to close out the stories told Mandalorian, Boba, and Ahsoka. It says
Oh,
and other related series, but I don't know any other related series that they would have.
But
apparently
we
Favreau
don't
said
know
that
yet.
they already
'Cause
written season 4.
you know
That's
they
what it
wanted to
was.
do. What was it called? I always forget the name of this show. It basically got canned because what happened with this girl.
You talking about the
Oh,
Rangers
Rangers
of
of the
the
New
yeah,
Republic.
right. But they basically replaced her with this dude, right?
Oh, with Carson Teva,
Yes,
they
right.
for
Tell
sure
me they did.
replaced her
they
with
can
him.
still do it, right?
I
They
They
mean,
could,
can.
but with him,
they could make it. Yeah, I was gonna say they could make him the Ranger.
I mean, it's gonna be a group, right? It's Rangers of the New
It
Republic, right?
is, yeah.
It sounded cool.
It did sound cool. Even the logo
Yeah,
looked cool.
yeah. So
I mean, yeah, I was
hopefully
here
they still
for it.
do it.
Then obviously she went and put her foot in her mouth, so kind of sucks.
Yeah, apparently John Favreau said that before season 3 dropped that he's written season 4 already.
Okay, that's what I
yeah.
thought. I thought I remember seeing something about it.
Mhm.
And then, did you guys also that was I think this is the actual last thing I wanted to talk about. Did you guys hear the rumors of the live action remake for the Clone Wars? I don't know if it's going to be a remake or
Oh,
extension. So this
What?
is stemming from oh god, what's her name? It was the actress that played young Ahsoka, I think. Said that
oh.
her and Hayden Christensen had either talked and wanted to pitch it, but essentially they talked with Filoni and just Disney, probably Lucasfilm in general, about wanting to do a live action. Like I said, either I won't say necessarily remake because I don't know if they're going to tell those same stories, but just sort of more stories during that time frame of the
Mhm.
Clone
Okay.
Wars. Would y'all be here
Okay.
for that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
like
sorry.
more stories within, not like
You want during
redoing
the
the whole
era? You
thing.
mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going. I don't think that they're going to redo it. And obviously, this is very brand new, very early stages of anything. It sort of sounded like they felt like they had a really good chemistry on set or whatever, and really enjoyed each other. So they wanted to try to do more.
I just
Okay.
I just read that Skeleton Crew apparently is in the same timeline as Mandalorian and them.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's animated, right? Wait,
No, that's the
Skeleton.
one
No,
with Jude Law.
that's the Jude Law one. That's
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Ariana
about these
Greenblatt is
kids.
the girl's name.
Yeah,
Mm.
okay.
That's not out yet, though, right? Yeah, that's not out yet.
No,
No,
Skeleton
Skeleton
Crew
Crew.
should be
but
coming
it
out.
was it was filming last time I checked.
Okay.
It should be coming out next year. Again,
Uh,
it was
I see
supposed.
the
yeah.
2024 on it right now.
Yeah,
So
Oh, Jaleel White's in it as apparently he's playing a pirate.
Oh.
I remember. Cause remember they showed pictures at Star Wars Celebration.
They did. They showed a picture of him. I didn't even know.
oh, I forgot about the acolyte. Does
The
that anything
Oh,
to do with
the
it?
but that
acolyte.
takes place
That's
before.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be before.
that's
Or is it?
It's
High
well,
Republic
it
and
was
the High Republic.
yeah.
Or is it gonna jump back and forth?
That'd be wild. It wasn't supposed to. So I'd be really interested in seeing something like that. But so then maybe this movie isn't as close as I thought it would be. Because if we still have to do Skeleton Crew, the Acolyte. Maybe there is an Ahsoka season 2.
Maybe the Rangers thing you're just talking about.
Maybe Rangers of the Lost or Rangers of the
Maybe
New
they
Republic.
revive it. Yeah.
Yeah, so either way, it seems like we're going to still have a lot to talk about, which I'm always happy for. I'm really hoping for this Hayden Christensen revival with the Clone Wars live action.
Okay, interesting.
What is that again? I missed it when you were saying.
So after, I don't know if it was while they were filming it or whatever, but her and Hayden, Ariana Greenblatt, which is the girl who played young Ahsoka, her and Hayden Christensen, they were talking about wanting to do a live action Clone Wars. Like I said, I don't know if it's supposed to be new project or a new storyline or a shot for shot remake. Kind of hope it's not that, or if they just want to expand upon some of the stuff that happened during that time frame. So I was just
That'd be
curious
cool.
if you were interested in that.
I would be like, because it's hard to do a full series, or if you could do like, I don't know, because you would have to use that de-aging shit. Because I know he's not that old, but he doesn't look like he looked like he did then. You know,
I don't know. Me and Trevon were talking about that. We saw some of the behind the scene pictures
He
of
looked
it.
good.
He didn't
really
look,
did.
well,
look good.
He didn't look bad, especially when they were doing the Revenge of the Sith era stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not against it at all, but I do believe. I don't know, like you said, I don't want a shot for shot, but if you're gonna give me stories like an anthology series during Clone Wars and like that, you see them again, I would not be against it at all.
Clone Wars : Stories. There you go.
Yeah,
anthology
like that.
series
Clone
would be
Wars
great. Yeah,
stories or some shit. Tales of the Clone Wars or some shit.
There you go. Yeah.
All they got to do is get Ewan back on board. I'm sure he'd be
Yeah.
happy to
He'll
come.
be back.
I'm sure he'd be happy.
Yeah.
And in his prime Obi-Wan too.
Right.
Oh, that'd be fun. Stop it.
And he got a girlfriend that's alive.
Give me Samuel Jackson. You know he'll come back too.
Right. You can do a lot with it.
That would be cool.
I would honestly be here for
They're gonna
something
have to
like
give us
that.
some that Secret Invasion magic. I'm looking young again.
Well,
and they didn't do too bad making him look younger than Secret Invasion.
No, yeah.
You can say a lot about what you feel about the series. I personally enjoyed it, but you can say a lot about the series. But CGI, it did great on that.
CGI was in Captain Marvel too. So.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So
he did.
They got a blueprint to work for with that. I think after them talking about it, that and a Star Wars What If are the two things that are just on my wish list that they would do.
Okay. A What If would be very fun.
A What If would be great.
There are so many great stories that you could do just on a What If basis. And it doesn't have to tie anything. Just have fun with it.
They had to think about that. They had to this would be like perfect for us. Like they had to think about it. They had to. There's no way.
I don't understand why
animated too. Easy.
Right. I don't understand why all the big series, like all the big universes, should have some type of What If show.
Yeah.
Because it's so much fun to be able to do. It doesn't have to tie into anything. You can just throw some stuff together.
Sports should have a What If show too. That'd be great.
That'd be weird. Just what if
that'd be
what
fun?
If the
there's so many good. There's so many good What Ifs.
There's one today.
Oh God, you're taking it personal. What if the Panthers won? Oof.
They for sure lost. I looked at the score, down 17 points.
Damn, that was fast.
That's rough. Well, on that note,
Russell.
we're gonna close out here. I think we talked a lot about the episode, and obviously some of the things that we want to see for the future. We will be back to watch these last two episodes and again talk about them again. As always, I am your host, Didge. I will go around, have you guys, tell where people can find you. What are some of the things that you would like them to support you on? Starting with you, Joel, where can the people find you? I know your name is right there underneath your actual name.
There, on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you can find me. And I guess I've been on a lot of the Chatter Actor Daily, and we did that One Piece review recently. Season, that was really cool. That was on the Amateur Otaku, right? Jamie knows more about that.
Yeah, that was on both channels actually. So Chatter Actor and Amateur Otaku. Yeah.
Right, so
didn't know that till afterwards, but it was on both.
At this point, I've become a talking head, so that's
the best thing. I know there's some sports related stuff that we're trying to do behind the scenes. I'm working with my cousin on. I'm gonna definitely get you in on that. So
That'd be fun. I've been thinking about that because I would love to talk just NBA. I could talk Knicks all day, but I could talk any team, honestly.
Right, and I think that's now we're getting to off air conversation, but that's something I know he wants to do. So I'll keep you tapped for that. So people, you guys look out for those sports stuff, and we'll have Joel on there. But Trayvon, where can the people find you, and what do you want them to support? You got some videos, so you
um,
better list those.
Oh,
Yes,
Trayvon got
it
sent to
happened.
it did.
advertise.
Yeah, nerd with the tech, pretty much everywhere. TikTok is has an underscore on the end. I can't help it. Hey, but yeah, I did like three. What I do? Three videos?
I
Four.
think
I did four.
4.
One on the Z Flip 5, one on the Apple Watch Ultra 2, one on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and on some accessories. So that was fun. Tech is fun. Every couple of years, I was like, it's worth it now. Let's get them. So that was
This is
fun.
now.
Yeah. So it was my watch. Well, have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun. So
Mhm.
yeah. I plan on. I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk tech again. I might start my podcast up again where
Let's
I just talk geek
go.
tech.
Let's
So that'll be
go.
fun. That'll be fun to talk about and just nerdy stuff that's going
I wish I
on.
had my soundboard here. I would have put the horns there.
We need
But yeah,
we need
I
more
definitely want to
time.
talk about all these issues that people are having with the iPhone 15. I haven't experienced
Oh,
any, but
I haven't
it's
either.
interesting. Yeah,
I
but
didn't
it's
I've
either.
never
it's
heard
quite
of
a
it.
few. It's quite a few. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me know. Let me know.
yeah, yeah.
We'll be on the lookout for that.
Mhm.
We're gonna strongly suggest that Trayvon does bring his bring his podcast back. But last but not least, Jamie, where can the people find you, and what do you want them to support?
Yeah, for all the content that I've been working on lately, you can go to swiper_prime both on YouTube and on Twitch. For a lot of these reviews talking about like anime, well, yeah, pretty much just anime lately. You can go to swiper_art on YouTube and on TikTok as well. Really been digging into the gaming. I eventually want to start like a video essay channel around gaming. So hopefully we'll finish Tears of the Kingdom here, and then I will have a lot to say about that game. um,
I'll see you
but
next
yeah, check.
year.
Oh God, possibly I don't know. But yeah, make sure to check those out. I also have all these lovely people in a podcast with me. That video will hopefully be out when does this video come out?
This is dropping tomorrow morning, so
Oh,
we're
definitely
recording this
not
on
then.
Sunday. It'll be out Monday morning.
Look for it in a week. Look for it in a week, everybody. A week or less. A week or less. Where we talked about PlayStation with their state of play and just some, or actually, no, the most recent one has been about some Xbox leaks. So if you guys are curious about that, the last podcast before this one was about PlayStation. This one was about Xbox. So we're trading off. But
Eventually, we'll
yeah,
get the Nintendo one.
maybe.
That's hopeful. Hopefully,
Maybe.
The
hopefully.
Joel wants Mario
I
Wonder.
was trying to be hopeful.
I mean I didn't say no. It's
No,
just
that
maybe.
none of you guys sounded very positive that we were gonna have one.
I don't
Based on the
know.
information we've been hearing, we'll see.
I mean, we did
Yeah.
have it. We had their what do they call them? The Nintendo
Direct.
Nintendo
Correct.
Direct, yeah.
Direct. Yeah, we just had one. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the next thing I'll do will probably be like a showcase for Princess Peach Showtime or something like that. Or probably the one of the RPG games. That would be good for them, so that might be the next thing.
We'll review Mario Wonder,
or Wonder.
right? That's what's
I
called.
like
Are
Wonder.
any of
Yeah,
us
Mario
buying
Wonder.
Mario Wonder?
I am
I'm gonna
All
get it.
right.
eventually.
I'm
I
thinking
actually
on going to the
I'm gonna get it.
event. If I go to the event, I feel like it'd be weird not to buy the game.
Probably true. That's probably true.
I'll be right
um,
all in that event. Like, let's go. All right, I'm out, y'all, and just
yeah.
leave.
Like, did you get a copy?
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
getting sent by Amazon. They're sending.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you guys for joining me as always. I appreciate each and every one of you and all of my listeners. You guys are what makes the show happen. I'm not listing every single thing that you can find us. You know where you can find me at Didge_D at GeeksetPodcast. And let me tell you, I will have it all in the description. That is much better than me reading it off and fumbling through it. So, as always, this is the Lost Holocron podcast. And until next week, we are out.